Countries like France, Spain and the UK have unveiled emergency packages including direct payouts to employees as well as loans and guarantees for companies to mitigate the economic impact from the coronavirus pandemic. France on Tuesday detailed 45 billion euros in direct tax breaks and direct state payments for the country's economy in addition to 300 billion euros of loans. In Spain, which has the second highest number of coronavirus cases in Europe after Italy, Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez announced 100 billion euros of loans and guarantees for companies in need of cash. In London, Chancellor Rishi Sunak pledged to deploy £330 billion worth of government-backed loans and guarantees equivalent to 15% of UK gross domestic product, as well as £20 billion in other direct measures. The steps aimed at mitigating the economic impact of imposing stringent movement restrictions and quarantine measures as COVID-19 spreads. In Ghana, the President has directed the Minister for Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, to make available the cedi equivalent of $100 million to enhance Ghana's coronavirus preparedness and response plan. But according to the CEO of Dalex Finance, Ken Thompson, more direct support must be provided for businesses.
I've heard a lot of talk about, local manufacturing. Manufacturing maybe no, because you have to import
the parts.
Okay.
What about agro-processing?
Agro-processing, you can deal with it. Maybe if you start to grow corn in your backyard, start to do some rabbits, if you start to grow some sheep, maybe that's what we should be looking. And I've said a long time ago that the level of imports of food was a threat to national security. Maybe this is a time to look at it again.
Food imports is a national security issue.
Of course, because if you are importing from, I don't know where, Thailand, wherever country, and decide to make you hungry, you upset them, they say, we won't give you food anymore. What happens? We're in trouble. But we must at the same time use this as an opportunity to provide incentives for people to grow locally. You need to provide incentives. I mean, when we talk about people doing things locally, but then we end up not giving them any incentives to do it.
Ken Thompson further suggested that government considers some tax measures that would ease the burden of the vulnerable in society.
We really need a stimulus package. I mean, I have different kinds of solutions. We need a stimulus package, yes.
Okay.
But because a lot of our economy is informal, if we provide direct support, the money will be chopped. They'll chop the money. So what do? First, I think it's a good time to reward those that pay taxes. So, for example, what the government should say is that we are suspending the payment of PAYE and SSF, and the money will be given to the employees. Suspend...
What's SS? Social Security?
Social Security, yes. Social Security. So, for example, I mean, your cameraman is paid, 2,000 cedis. Out of that, Social Security, FSF, at least 300 cedis of sort. So, give it to them. At least that will put more money in their pocket.
So convert their net to gross.
To gross, exactly.
So that gross, give everything to them.
Give everything to them, yes.
So they have more money in their pocket.
Okay, exactly. And you see, it will benefit people who are more vulnerable. Because for you, Bernard, if that SSF and PAY is given to you, probably you say, okay, it's no big deal. But it will benefit the majority of your people. It's also possible to help with indirect taxes, because most of our taxes are indirect. People are home. They don't have cash. They are using data and they are calling. Cut the communication service tax.
Okay.
Yes, cut the communication service tax.
Okay.
We should also look at looking at the fuel tax. Reduce the fuel tax. What happens? So, if we reduce fuel tax, it reduces the cost of transportation. If the cost of transportation reduces, it manages or reduces the cost of food. Yes. That will at least keep prices in check.